Live from the Texas Cheerlickers Studios, it's In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
Good to be back in the usual stomping ground this morning. Good evening. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good evening. Damn.
Golly, I know, man. I know, man. I got a lot going on in my head today. There's a lot going on in my head today. How we doing, man?
Fantastic.
Good. A little bit late. That's because Bouquet showed up late, and I got worried when I got here.
You gonna throw him under the bus to start the show?
He wasn't here at 9:50. I'm like, oh, balls. I hope he at least brought all of the gear back yesterday from Chatterbox and set it up, because if he hadn't set the gear up, we may be in for maybe 10:30.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he did.
He probably had, only because he had other shows to do. If not, he would have took that shit home.
Probably, but he would have come in early enough to get it all set up so we can get started relatively on time, I assume. So welcome back. It is In the Building. It was cool to be in that other room yesterday. We just wanted to we wanted to do a little dress rehearsal, a little preseason game, because that's where Rudy and I are going to be hosting the television show here coming up a week from Saturday on August the 30th.
Little different setup, but it'll be in that room.
Yeah, it'll be sportsy. It looked like a doctor's office, but that's what it's supposed to look like.
Right.
It's your generic studio, and Chatterbox rents out that space to lots of shows, and they come and they can put whatever makeup they want to on the room, which by the time we have our TV show that we'll do on the 30th, it'll look cool and sportsy and man-cavey and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So good job, Bouquet, with getting us through the show yesterday. Welcome in. It is, Wednesday? If you're watching this thing live, it's show 388. 388.
It's crazy.
Which is cool because that is the number of Michael Irvin, my all-time favorite Cowboys wide receiver. Drew Pearson was the original 88. CD got 88. Des Bryant wore 88. And we all know that my 88, Rudy, because my Cowboys are the 1990s Cowboys. They always will be. The 70s Cowboys and the early 80s Cowboys, those were my father's Cowboys, and I love them very much. I don't know who wants to claim this ragtag shit we got here for the last 30 years, but the 90s Cowboys,
true Cowboy fans want to claim them.
These ragtags, Dak Prescott, and Tony Romo, and people like that, y'all go right ahead and claim them. I'm gonna claim the 90s Cowboys. It is In the Building from the Texas Cheerlicker Studios at Pub Sports Radio in Southtown. The audio disseminator is Jose Bouquet.
No, Adrian, CD's not better than Irvin, and it's not because he's faster than Irvin. Irvin's slower than him. It's not because Irvin's not as athletic. There's a lot more into what makes Irvin better than CD Lamb, and it's one word: it's leadership. And don't get me wrong, CD's my favorite Cowboy on this team, but Irvin brought something else to that team other than, yes, he's not as athletic as CD, he's not as fast, all that other good stuff, but route running, hands, timely catches, clutch, leadership. There's a lot of reasons why Irvin is better than CD Lamb.
I knew that, so I prepared myself for this, Rudy. I almost wondered if I shouldn't take like a half a melatonin before every show here for the next couple of weeks till the season starts, because of the documentary series that is out. Because I know every day I'm going to get beaten down with CD Lamb's better than Michael Irvin.
No, he's not.
I knew I was going to get that. Or, look at Emmitt Smith. Curvin Richards was better than him. You're just going to get dumb shit, Stuff like that waxes nostalgic. People look back on times. And I also don't want to be one of these old men who looks at my Cowboys unrealistically either, where everything was always better then and all this kind of thing.
And not only that, Irvin had to deal with a whole lot more handsy. It was way more physical. The stuff that they were doing to Aikman. If you do that,
stat monster.
The stuff they were doing, it was a totally different game for receivers and quarterbacks. The stuff they were doing to Aikman in the 90s, if they did that to Patrick Mahomes, the whole defensive line would be thrown out of the game. So it's a whole different game.
And Jimmy said, and I've now watched, I'm through episode 2 of the docuseries.
I've watched 3.
Damn. Okay, don't tell me nothing. Okay. Well, you can allude to stuff, but
I watched the first. You pretty much know the 3rd episode's about 92 of them versus San Fran.
The NFC Championship game in 92. Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell me who wins.
I won't. Well, and Jimmy was saying in episode 2, the way I practiced, you can't even do that anymore. You can't even practice the way we did at St. Edward's University in Austin or in Wichita Falls.
And I hate that I'm getting sucked into this because it feels like the guy that always talks about how good he was in high school, but it's still it doesn't mean it's not a good documentary, but it's like, okay, that's all cool, that all happened, this is all good. There's some nice tidbits in there that I did not know because I wasn't like indoctrinated and following them to the T like that. Obviously I know they were winning, but there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know. But and that's another thing, speaking of Michael Irvin, since we started the show with that. Michael Irvin, the early on understanding, and if you haven't seen it, sorry, but the understanding that, like, hey, Jimmy, there's a couple veterans in here that you got to get off this team. Because the way Jimmy coached, it had to be a bunch of young guys. Because Jimmy's coming from Miami where he could scream, dog cuss, run you into the ground. Mm-hmm. Old school veterans under Tom Landry weren't going to go for that. And Michael Irvin went to him, slid him a piece of paper, said, you got to get rid of these guys because they're going to hold us back and they're not going to let you do what you need to do. So that's what I'm saying. Like that type of stuff, I get what Adrian's asking, but that type of stuff all correlates into you having a winning product. So no, CeeDee Lamb is not better than Michael Irvin.
I took notes.
How many episodes have you watched?
The first 2 as well.
Okay, cool. I watched 2 this morning. Rudy's ahead of us.
Yes.
The reason why...
Physical notes.
So,
damn.
Michael Irvin actually said, and I don't want to give like spoilers, because this is what I did not know, that Mike had gone to Jimmy and said, I'm going to give you a list of people that needed to get the fuck out of here.
That you can't teach that. You can't teach that because he understood. The way Jimmy was coaching and dog cussing, you have asthma on that field. And the cutting people on the spot, veterans are like, dude, this is the pros. Even Mike was saying, like, when he first got there, his rookie, he's screaming and yelling like, hey, man, you got to calm down. This is the pros. It's the pros. And that mentality was going to hold them back from letting Jimmy put his imprint on this team.
Right, because here's the facts, and this is what hacks off baby boomers that revere Tom Landry the way they do. And I do too. But there's no doubt from 1986, 7, 8, Tom Landry was done and should have been let go in 85, 86.
It shouldn't have come down to Jerry.
Tom Landry oversaw the pussification of the Dallas Cowboys at the end. It was just a bunch of rich white boys and playing tennis in a club.
Yeah.
The reason why guys had to go, it was, yes, so Jimmy could implement his style, because the style he inherited was a pussy-ass style of playing.
And they started accepting losing.
Correct.
They
the work
accepted. I mean, when
couldn't hack.
Yeah, he said his first game, speaking of 88, you know, he's waiting on this speech from Tom Landry, and he says Tom Landry comes in front of the locker room and says, hey, guys, let's just try to keep this close. And Mike's like, what?
Yeah, he came from Miami.
Like Tom had already, yes, Jerry put him in. Like, you know, it's like, you know, in the movies, somebody gets stabbed, they're bleeding out, they're going to die.
Yeah.
And the guy comes over and like, hey, man, I'm just gonna put you out of your misery. And it's his buddy. Mm-hmm. And he's like, boom, shoots in the head because I don't want to see you suffer. Jerry just came and put the bullet in Tom Landry's head, but Tom was already bleeding out.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that about the legendary Tom, but Tom was bleeding out.
Right.
He was already dead.
They should have put him to sleep, not shoot him in the head. Okay, Jerry shot him in the head. He needed to be put to sleep, but humanely.
I'm just keeping it real.
Humanely. I get it.
Yeah.
The results needed to happen. It's the methods that Jerry screwed up, and Jerry admits to this day that he screwed that up. You know, I loved it. One part of part, and part 2 primarily is about Jimmy and Troy's relationship and the difference that Charles Haley made to get them over the top from good to really, really great.
Charles Haley was a bad guy.
Yeah,
but they needed him.
They needed him,
but he was a bad guy.
And as Jerry said in episode 2, in football, you can't win with 11 Sunday school teachers.
You can't.
I got to have some motherfuckers on this team.
You can't, but, I mean, oh, man. pulling your thing out and pissing on your GM's desk is a bit far.
Well, he wanted out of there bad.
I get
well,
it.
and
There's another way to do it.
I love
without golden showering your GM.
The two dudes that made this docuseries, they're actually Kurt Russell's nephews. The actor Kurt Russell.
I saw that.
Young dudes, and they were able to get all of the major players, all of them so far. And I've seen episode 1 and 2. Even guys that don't even like Jerry agreed to sit down and do this. And it was awesome. And I love, I don't want to give away too much, but I love the sequence where Charles Haley talks about how there's 3 of me.
Charles, Chuck,
there's Charles, who is his mother's son, who wears a suit and sits down for docuseries now that I'm 60. There's Charlie, who's the crybaby and the mama's boy and sweet guy, and that's the guy everybody's like, God, I hung out with him. He was a sweet guy. But then there's Chuck,
who pulls out his peen and pees on people's desks.
And Jimmy wanted Chuck at Edge Rush.
At Edge Rush.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I've said this forever, and I got this from the Jimmy Johnson School. I ain't looking for son-in-laws.
Well, that's
C.D. Lamb ain't going to come to my house and date my daughter and have dinner with me. I want motherfuckers out there putting dicks in the dirt.
Right, but it only works with certain coaches and other guys around.
Well, sure.
Like
absolutely.
You can't, like the Trailblazers of the early 2000s, like or late 90s, early 2000s, like it didn't work.
Well, yeah, Dave Campo couldn't have had Charles Haley on his team. This was about Jimmy for me, episode 2. And, I try to make this, trying to kind of bring this home because, as I'm watching old video of Jimmy on the practice field coaching, first of all, I'm like, oh, God, do I masturbate now or wait till after the show? But there's a lot of Popovich in Jimmy and the coaching tactics during games. Never satisfied. Nothing's ever good enough. Who gives a shit if we're 50-8? We just beat Cleveland by 15, but we didn't play well, and so I'm going to go ape shit. And that was Jimmy's method. But what separated Jimmy from Pop is that Pop knew when to show love too. Jimmy couldn't do that. Jimmy Johnson was never going to be a guy who could be anywhere a long time. Jimmy was a 5-year guy. That was it. If you're going to get Jimmy Johnson, it was going to be 5 years.
He weighs on you too much.
And I know that Jerry effed it up toward the end and totally disrespect Jimmy. But this is Jimmy Johnson. This is a guy who literally called his wife a month after taking the job and said, hey, I know we've been married 26 years, but I'm filing for divorce because I don't have time to be a father and husband anymore. I'm literally moving into Valley Ranch. Fuck off. We're done. Just dumps her after 26 years.
That was crazy.
And that's true, by the way. Totally true.
Pretty messed up.
Man, it's very messed up.
It worked.
It's sorry ass shit.
It worked.
It's sorry. But as I also said, I ain't looking for son-in-laws. I ain't looking for grandpas either. I'm looking for world fucking champions as a Cowboy fan, and that's what it took. That was my favorite time of my life being a sports fan is those 1990s.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, especially when you look back on it and you look how it all came together, and you go 1-15, then you go 7-9, then you make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a gradual process. And they did it as a bunch of young kids, because I call, at that time they were kids. Mm-hmm. But it's great. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I'm 3 episodes in. Can't wait to get home and finish it up. Not finish it up, but watch a couple more.
Jimmy was such a hard ass. I love the part where he is also like, people always say that like releasing a guy is like the hardest part of a coach's job. No, it's not really. I don't have any problem releasing people. And I think about Wade Phillips on Hard Knocks that year. Remember when Hard Knocks had the Cowboys when Yuck Yuck was the coach? I don't remember the year, but there's a part where Wade has to release a kid. Mm-hmm. And he's a spare. He wasn't even expected to make the team. It was a long shot at best. And Wade like teared up. Well, it's a hard decision, and it's a numbers game. And I can't carry 7 linebackers. I can only carry 6. So I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to go somewhere else with it. And I'll write you a letter of recommendation. And the guy's like, I understand, coach. I appreciate it. Respect. And the guy gets up and leaves. And Wade's like, wipes his eye. Get the fuck out of here. We're wiping eyes. That's why a team can go 11-5 and shit the bed of the playoffs. That's why Mike McCarthy can win 12 games twice and shit the bed in the playoffs because we're crying when we have to release guys. Fuck that shit. Jimmy was a tyrant, and you could get away with it then because they respected him. Hell, even Jimmy and Aikman took 3 years for Jimmy and Aikman to even like. It took 3 years for Aikman to even
because
like
Jimmy didn't want to be his bestie until
No.
they went to a Christmas party nobody went to
because they all hated Jimmy.
because they all hated Jimmy, and then they formed a bond over aquariums and Heineken.
Yeah.
So, again, but it comes back full circle to how Mike started the show. 88 telling Jimmy, you got to get these Tom Landry dudes out of here so you can put your imprint on. They're like he pretty much had a bunch of college kids that had just entered the pros, and he was able to mold them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he did that to the T, and we saw what it came out to be, something great, something that nobody will ever forget. But it also opened my eyes a little bit about Jerry's ways. I mean, you get a lot of these guys, man. Some dudes have this special relationship with their fathers, and your father's your hero. And Jerry's dad was Jerry's hero. And when Jerry's dad owns this little, I guess, HEB, and his dad's doing all this weird shit to get people through the doors. He ain't just selling jelly and peanut butter and bread. He's bringing in a live band in the middle of the grocery store.
He's doing in the building podcast.
He's doing in the building. And then you see that and you're like, oh, that's why you want and he says his dad is like, hey man, you got to make this thing look like it's something, even if it ain't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you kind of, and I'm not saying that makes the things that Jerry does right, but it kind of puts in context why he is the way he is.
Right.
This is what he saw his hero doing. And his dad told him, hey, man, have a what NFL team has a pep rally? I didn't remember that. Fucking Cowboys having a pep rally before a playoff game. I'm like, wait a minute, who does this? But Jerry grew up watching his dad do these things and fucking make things look more shiny than they really are, and it's just ingrained in him.
Those pep rallies were televised.
I do not remember that.
We watched pep rallies.
I didn't watch grown men. High school, they were awesome. I don't remember grown men coming out and them. It's like, hey, what's gonna be real good when we win the Super Bowl? I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
That's some damn Brennan high school shit. But Jerry grew up watching his dad do these things. So now it makes a lot more sense to me.
Right. And like Aikman, as much as Aikman has criticized Jerry in his broadcasting days, going back to when Aikman was playing, those first 5 years anyway, until things kind of went to shit after Switzer left with Aikman and Jerry. And it's better now, but even Aikman's like, with the not Jerry, but the Aikman-Jimmy relationship was almost father and son, because Aikman grew up with a real hard-ass dad too.
Yeah.
Where nothing was ever all the way good enough.
He said I was a grown man by 6.
Yeah, Aikman said I was basically treated like an adult by 6.
Yeah.
And I was expected to do adult stuff. It was very honest, man. I'd never heard that from Aikman either. And so that puts some. You mentioned the Jimmy scenario where they have a Christmas party. Jimmy's pissed because they didn't play good in Washington.
Even though they won.
Refuses to let Delta Airlines serve meals on the plane home. They're all starving to death.
What an asshole.
Just played a game.
What an asshole, dude. I just burned 2,000 calories and you say they don't deserve to eat.
Yeah, and
Is this alligator Alcatraz?
Yeah, and that week there's a Christmas party. Because this was a very tight-knit group of guys. They loved each other. They hung out all the time. And they literally rented houses so they could hook up with each other's girls. Jesus. I mean, it was huge. They were brothers. And so Aikman's like, I got to go to the stupid Christmas party because I'm the freaking quarterback, so I got to go. I'm going to look bad. And that's finally when Jimmy realized, when no one showed up to the Christmas party, Jimmy realized, okay, I've got to, I can't just go 90 miles an hour.
He was what we call a habitual line stepper.
Yeah.
And he habitually stepped over the line. I get it, but that's too far.
So Jimmy's like, I got to figure out a way to relate a little bit. I'm going to lose everybody,
Well, Troy told him. Hey,
Troy
man, guys are pissed at you.
Yeah, guys are pissed at you. So Jimmy starts talking about his fish tanks that he had in his house. And Aikman's like, that sounds pretty cool. And Jimmy's like, you ought to get one. So Aikman's like, yeah, I'll think about it. Jimmy's like, fuck it, let's just go now. And so they went the next day after practice, and they picked out Aikman's fish tank, and Jimmy helped him put it into his house and stuff. And after that, that's when they got super on the same page. And it was almost, dare I say, because of the way Aikman played like a robot and the way he handled himself with the media, dare I say it was very Pop Tim-like for a little while until Jimmy couldn't take it anymore and bailed. Just to, I thought about that too. Aikman was very robotic, And episode 2 also chronicles the infamous 91 season when Aikman got hurt and Steve Berline had to come off the bench and Berline caught fire. And they won every game he played in the regular season. And then Aikman's like, okay, I'm good now. And Jimmy's like, I'm going to stay with Steve. And Aikman was fucking pissed. Were you freaking kidding me? This is bullshit. And, of course, then Berline stunk in the Lions game, and they got run off the field.
Well, they won one. They beat Chicago.
They beat
first.
Chicago. It was like 13-10. It was an ugly game. Bill Bates with a game-saving interception in the fourth quarter against your Bears to ice that game.
When I saw that part, that's when I was like, well, damn, that's how good they were. Like, and I'm not saying anybody could have come in, but, when you see Steve Berline come in and he's pretty much doing the same things, if not, they look better. You would hear John, man, this is the greatest they've looked all year long. And I'm like, yo, this is why this is why Troy is probably unfairly criticized. It's like, yo, look how great this. And Joe Montana went through the same thing. Like, okay, Joe, if you're that great, why does Steve Young come in and pretty much keep the train rolling? Troy, if you're this great, why does Steve Berline come in and just keep the train rolling? Was it because you were just surrounded by the great, at that time, the great Norv Turner, and probably one of the best young teams we've ever seen? So were you that great, or were you just surrounded by a great team and a great staff?
I also think that put pressure on Aikman to up his game. He was only in his third year that year. It was only his third season. And they go 1-15. No one's got a clue in 89.
Yeah.
In 90, they go 7-9, and they're just still kind of building things. Although I remember, I grew up, I was there. I was in my teens, and my dad and I were just religiously in support of Jerry and Jimmy because we loved Miami so much, and we loved Jimmy. As I remember, Rudy, like looking back, like what was 18-year-old me thinking during that? I actually remember, and I remember actually, like, I never once had a negative vibe toward Aikman or their ascension, their development, because they were so terrible in 88, Tom Landry's last season. And in 89, they were so awful. They had Herschel Walker and nothing else, literally. I saw nothing but momentum. So all that stuff that went on, the building and the having to release guys, and we don't like Jimmy, and Aikman doesn't like him, and Aikman struggles and things. I never once thought they weren't ever going to get good. I didn't think it would be that fast, but I never as a fan, I remember always thought I see progress. I don't see digress here every week, but I do think that 91 run by Berline put pressure on Aikman to up his game. And but I want to say this too: Steve Berline did not suck. Steve was Steve played 17 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
It wasn't like he was Cooper Rush,
right?
Now he wasn't Troy Aikman, but he wasn't Cooper Rush. Berline Berline had been in the league 4 or 5 years too. He was a veteran. He knew what he was doing. He was a solid guy, and he had that talent around him, and he got hot for 6 weeks. And as Berline says in episode 2, it was cool that they had Berline in the episode. I forgot he existed. He was like, I knew this is my only shot here to maybe get another job somewhere else in the league.
Right.
I got to take advantage of this run, and he came out there balls out, and saved their asses. He saved the Cowboys season, and then Steve went on and played 10 more years in the league.
They were 6-5,
yeah,
and then he went on that 5-game win.
Yeah, Steve was a solid quarterback.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess who would you compare Steve to in modern football? He's better than Colt McCoy.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah. Who?
Andy Dalton. That doesn't suck.
I think Andy's still in the league.
Is he seriously still in the league in Carolina?
I thought so.
That's a good comp, dude. I like that. And not just because it's TCU's own. That's a good comp. I think Andy Dalton compares to Steve Berline. That's a good one. Dalton's got playoff starts in his career too.
He comes in, wins some games, and gets on about his business.
Yeah, Steve was a solid guy. And then bringing in Norv Turner, of course, as Ruben points out, then when they brought Charles Haley in, then it was just They went from they're pretty good to okay, now they're
Yeah.
great.
Would you like to hear my questions?
Sure.
I would love to hear your questions.
Yeah, I wrote some down. I started writing questions down at the 8-minute mark of the first episode because I realized I was like, I'm not going to
All
remember
right,
all this.
can I solicit money before you do that?
Please.
Excellent. If you want to donate to us, you certainly can. There's donations already coming in. You can donate to us via the super chat. You can also buy us coffees on the buymeacoffee.com link that Buki is literally linking as we speak. You can become a member and get access to all of our members-only exclusive material that we release each and every week for as low as $4.99 a month. You can subscribe, of course, to the channel for free. So I give y'all shit for being freeloaders, you non-members, but I love you. I'm just giving you crap.
I don't.
I love it when you subscribe. Please subscribe. We're going to get our subscriptions up. We're pushing the 4,600 mark, but really want to get those members up too because that's exclusive and it feels intimate when we do our members-only show. So there's that. All right. How you got 8 questions?
No.
We're not gonna get all
All right.
8.
No,
Okay.
no.
Let's do a couple, and let's revisit as we go along here. I want your questions. This is great. I get to talk 90s Cowboys to a young dude. I love it.
Well, my first question is, how the fuck does a bank fail? How do you sell the Cowboys because a bank
Those
failed?
were different times.
I don't understand that. It didn't make sense to me.
So the Aggie Bumbright who owned the Cowboys from I want to say 77, 76 to when he sold to Jerry, his bank failed. The Bright Bank.
Well, a bunch of banks failed in
Yeah.
Dallas at that time.
There was
because
an
of-
oil bust.
Yeah.
And that's what Jerry likes to tell that. Jerry tells that story. I went bankrupt in 1987. They cut my credit card. Jerry loves to tell the story of the credit card where he went to rent a car. And not only did they not rent him a car, the woman literally cut his credit card in half because he was so in the hole. Because the oil business just went just tanked, kind of like the housing market did in 08.
Yeah, a bank failing because everyone just pulls their money out of the bank doesn't make any sense.
There was a line down around the building,
Yeah,
according to
it was
George
very
Bush.
1930s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
What else you got?
Did Tom Landry suck as a coach?
No.
2 and 3 is in the Super Bowls?
You know what? That part is left out.
Are
Like
we-
he went
okay.
to 5
Let's just-
and
yeah.
only
Just
won
gloss
2.
over the fact that he went to 5 Super Bowls.
But
2 and
he
3?
But he went 2 and 3, Mike.
You kidding me?
You know what, Jose?
So
Look,
what?
it's blasphemous to ask that in the great state of Texas, but it's a fair question
Oh,
because
it's not.
because it is fair. Why is that
2
not
and
fair?
3?
Because they lost to 3 teams that were better than they were.
Who'd they lose to?
The Steelers twice and the Colts when they had Johnny fucking Unitas. And
Was the Steelers the
and
immaculate
they,
catch?
they should have beaten Pittsburgh in 76, but Jackie Smith dropped that touchdown in
Yeah.
the end zone, and that was it.
Was that Terry Bradshaw?
It was Bradshaw, yeah.
Bam, look at me. I'm fucking nice.
So I guess Chuck Noll's the greatest coach of all time outside of Belichick. Because Chuck Noll's undefeated in Super Bowl. He went 5-0.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So is he better than Bill Belichick? If we're going to do that to Tom,
Well, what is Belichick? 5
Well-
and 2,
yeah.
6 and 2.
That's pretty
I
good.
think Belichick's 6 and 2 actually.
Good lord.
I just want to have a winning record in Super Bowls. That's it. That's all I'm looking for, Tom Landry. My second question.
Hang on, timeout.
That's it.
What's
I don't
wrong?
want to turn into that Cowboys fan, but I can give you a 45-minute answer on it. Tom Landry invented the flex defense, which in the 70s basically was the 4-2-5 defense that that has now become the major player. Who invented the 4-2-5? Gary Patterson perfected the 4-2-5 on a college level.
Mhm.
But I think guys like Bill Cowher, Buddy Ryan with his 46 defense, these innovative defense, and Mike Ditka's, and that was Buddy Ryan who had the 80. Buddy Ryan was the defensive coordinator of the Bears 46 defense in 85. And Tom Landry's flex defense was every bit as influential on the game as those defenses were when Tom created it in the 70s. Tom's a legend, but yeah, he did go 2 and 3 in Super Bowls, but he did not lose. All right, I'm gonna give Bookie an answer that he can absolutely relate to. Dallas was the underdog in all 3 of those games they lost.
Okay, that makes
Okay.
more sense. That makes more sense.
That makes more. No, Vegas. Okay, so there you go.
Okay,
We
Vegas
lost.
said so.
We were not favored in any of those games, unfortunately.
Uh,
And the Steelers were really fucking great.
Yeah,
so Jerry Jones had all his kids when he was like 20 years old, huh? Because all of them are old as
No,
fuck.
not all of them. He had one that was born in 1995. We don't talk about her though.
Okay. I was like, oh my God, like Stephen Jones
Well,
looks so old. And then
Mookie.
Jerry Jones Jr. looked old. I was like,
First of
what the
all,
hell?
Steven has not aged well at all. Steve is not.
Steven likes to drink.
He's not aged
Drinking
well.
puts age on you.
Yeah, Steven don't look good. Jerry's from Arkansas. I mean, shit, I may not say 60. 15 years old, you got to start having babies. There you go.
And by the way, whenever Jerry talks, I just hear Mike's voice. I don't know. I don't know if Rudy, the same thing for you, Rudy, but I hear Jerry and I'm just like, oh, there's Mike. There's Mike right there. And I also wrote in my notes, Charlotte Sup. So shout out to Charlotte Jones.
Oh, you like that
You
Charlotte,
did?
do you?
I mean, you
tapped that?
Betty White,
She's single.
whatever, Dolly Parton, Charlotte Jones. I'd be down for all of these.
As far
women.
as I know, Charlotte is single still.
I have no idea.
So another question is, who
Yeah.
the fuck schedules a parade in Dallas for Tom Landry? How does that?
What?
Like,
City did.
like they just the mayor was like, you know what, fuck it, give him a parade.
Did you have a problem with that?
Yeah, who scheduled that? Who takes city resources to be like, you know
Well,
what?
You had to. Let's put everything in perspective. It wasn't more. Yes, it was about honoring Tom, but it was also about giving the middle finger to this outsider who comes in here, unknowingly takes Jimmy Johnson out to Tom Landry's favorite Mexican restaurant. So
That
the
was
shit
funny.
leaks. Like the way he did it was so bad. It was more of a middle finger to Jerry, the new outsider country bumpkin, than it was just as much about that as it was an ode to Tom Landry. So they were giving the middle finger to Jerry.
The Dallas Morning News wrote that week only. They wrote that Tom Landry, and I can't remember the name of the writer, Frank Luxa, the longtime Dallas Morning News columnist, wrote, Tom Landry is the only human being who could get fired after going 3-13 and have 50,000 people show up for a ticker tape.
100.
It's absurd.
It was 100,000.
Yeah, dude, he was there for 29 years. They went to
That's
5
also absurd.
world titles. And not in addition to the Super Bowls, they also made the playoffs like 21 times of the 29 and won like 18 divisions.
Yeah, it made me realize that if the Cowboys ever become worth a shit, the pressure they're gonna feel every week is just going to just increase.
It takes a certain group of guys, and this ain't this 2025 team, which is, again, I'm enjoying this. I can't wait to finish it, but it is taking us away from the fact that this current team is booty crumbs.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a certain group of guys to deal with that, and this ain't this group of guys.
No.
And they don't even have any pressure.
Yeah, I can't imagine, because I've obviously never seen a Cowboys team worth a damn besides the Des Caudet team.
That was a good team.
I just can't imagine the pressure they would feel if the Cowboys made the NFC Championship game.
Dak's rookie team was really good. The Aaron Rodgers was still in his prime.
Mason Crosby game.
That 3rd and 21 is just, there's nothing. Dak, they should have won that game too. You could go to any game, just like he talked about Jackie Smith. That 13-3 Dak team was really good too. But
Very good.
again, that's hindsight as well.
The Dez should have caught it team.
Was good.
I thought had the referee not called that incomplete and Dallas is able to score there,
I think Aaron still goes and scores.
I do think that the Cowboys still lose the game because
too.
fucking Aaron Rodgers
At that time was still a bad mother
and
father.
No
Yeah.
one was going to stop him, especially at Lambeau.
Yeah.
I think there was like 3-4 minutes left. Who says Aaron's going to get stopped? But that was a really good team to your point.
I don't. Jerry, and it's hard for like Cowboy fans now to not be cynical because as you watch these glory days of the 90s, what I don't want to do is, but the whole thing. It's like, I don't want these 30 years to take away from that 6-year run from 89 when Jerry bought the club to 95 when Jimmy left, 94, 95 when Jimmy split. I don't want these 30 years to always taint that. Even if Jerry has to get his flowers too while I'm talking about those glory days, they still happen. And what an amazing time it was where you had that Cowboys team, that Chicago Bulls team at the same time in this country. What a great effing time that was. My God.
All right, I've got 2 more questions and observations
Yeah,
for
man.
you. How easy was the Troy Aikman pick? Was that just like, oh, we got the first pick?
It was only Rodney Pete, and Jerry wasn't taking Rodney Pete.
No
Who the
brainer
fuck is
decision.
Rodney Pete?
USC.
The quarterback?
Rodney was great. I loved Rodney Pete.
It was the only other guy that there was in question was Rodney Pete, and it was always going to be Troy.
Yeah, it was a no-brainer.
And it was the right choice.
It was a no-brainer.
Never heard of Rodney Pete in my life.
Wow. Okay.
Never heard of him in my life.
You ever heard of his wife?
Holly something Pete. Yeah.
No, it was.
I am interested though.
She
now.
was an early '90s television actor.
Yeah, her name was Holly.
Holly Robinson.
Holly
Pete.
Robinson.
Holly
Pete, yeah.
Robinson Pete. She also wasn't. She also married. No, that was Robin Givens
Yeah, that
who
was
married
Robin
Mike
Givens, yeah.
Tyson. I'm getting my hot black
You getting
actresses
your hot black
mixed up.
actresses mixed up, right?
All right. When I got to episode 2, I thought it was fucking hilarious that they started off 0-8. I had no idea. I expected them to start off decent, and them going 0-8 immediately was funny. And if we had like a rookie quarterback now, he starts 0-8, second year still bad. They're not seeing that third year.
Well, if you go back,
It is a different time when it comes to that, Jose.
Yeah,
That's a good
man.
observation.
That's not happening.
if
Yeah.
you
No.
go back to those days and you look up so in those days we didn't have the internet, so I read the paper religiously. And what I was that geek who I would look at all the back pages of the sports page every day and look at all the transactions. Remember the transactions
Yeah, of
page?
course.
NFL, they would give you a list of every team in the league and what their transactions were that particular day.
Right.
You go back to 89, 90, 91, and there's not a week. Hell, there's not even a day where you don't see in the transactions report Dallas, release so-and-so, sign so-and-so, release so-and-so. For 3 years, it was a never-ending parade of dudes getting their asses released because what Jimmy inherited was booty crumbs, as Rudy likes
And
to
he was
say.
making all the
Just
decisions.
At
was,
that time,
at that
Jerry
time.
said, "Hey, let me handle." Because at that time, Jerry was still losing money, so he's like, "I got to worry about the business. You handle the football."
Right. Yeah.
And then
Yeah, the
once
general
they
manager.
started winning, Jerry was like, "Hold on now."
I feel bad for the general manager. He's just like, yeah, I'm taking your job now.
Yeah, that was
See-
fucked
see
up.
you later.
Tex Schramm. Well, okay.
See you later.
First
He
of all,
pointed at him. He
You're
was like,
gone.
I want his job."
that was
I'm like,
Tex Schramm.
Who does that?
Who's
to Tex
also
Schramm?
Tex, who's also in the Hall of Fame, who created the cheerleaders, created the hole in the roof, created the ISO scoreboard, created the way they serve food, created the way the NFL does fucking business.
Get the fuck out of here.
That was so arrogant, so asshole. You talked about how there was the parade for Tom was also a flip you to Jerry. The very fucking first, he looks over at Tex Schramm.
And points at
I
him.
can't wait to get. I want your
I
job.
want your job. I was like, damn.
And Tex is in tears.
yeah.
But again, it sucks. But
They needed a butt kick.
almost
They needed a
had
B12
to be ruthless.
because it was
Ruthless.
fading. The lore and the shininess was getting dull.
They were soft. They were
Tom
just a country
Tom had
club.
lost his fast.
How
Yeah,
old was
big
he
time.
when he got?
When Tom got fired?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Probably 61, 62.
God, and Bill Belichick's like 20 more years older than that.
Well,
Whatever he is.
check me on that.
Oh my
Go
God.
see how old Tom was. What year was Tom born? Look up that and we'll do this. All right, it is
Oh my
in the
God.
building here on Love You Hard TV, presented in part by Robaldo Real Estate.
What up, Jay?
Mortgage rates have fallen to their lowest level since October. This is the time to take advantage of low mortgages. And as always, Bexar County, of all the major metropolitan big city counties in the state, we are by far the lowest median home price in the state. Austin almost doubles our median home price. This is the time, especially with rates being low. Jay Robaldo, draft Jay. Let him be your Troy Aikman. Let him be your guy. Because if you don't have the right guy at the top, the whole thing's going to crumble. It's Robaldo Realty Group, 210-887-1081. You can also email Jay directly, jrobaldo at kw.com. Jay Robaldo, kw.com.
Skip Bayless said, "Dude, I was watching Landry fall asleep in meetings."
That was hilarious.
Yeah, Tom was old. So
He was
what-
75.
Tom died
If he got fired in 89, he was 75.
when he got fired?
Yeah, 65.
65. I was going to say, yeah, he died at 75. Okay.
So he got fired at 65.
Yeah, so
God.
Yeah.
1924 just is crazy to me.
Tom was a fighter pilot in World War II. Well,
Yeah, I
he
heard- I
won
saw
the
that.
he won the Bronze Star.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
He also was a 6-time All-Pro punter for the New York Giants. Did you know that?
I did not know.
Somewhere, and I've seen the card. I bet Slaughter will know this card. There's an old one of the most famous football cards from way back in the 50s is Tom Landry with his big old. They would pose for cards in those days. You know, they'd do the poses.
Yeah.
They'd hold the ball in one hand and put the hand out. There's a pose of Tom with his leg up in the air, pretending he's punting, with his no face mask having helmet, with a leather helmet. Tom played that. That's how old Tom was.
Yeah, it's old as fuck. My last question here.
Yes, sir.
I thought you said the other one was. Go ahead.
How dumb?
Let's move on.
No, I'm fine.
How dumb is the Minnesota Vikings GM that was like, take whatever 5 players, you turn them into draft picks, and what determined the value of the draft picks?
This is the thing. Nobody had seen any. See, Jerry gets a lot of flack, but Jerry is also great at seeing without seeing, and he understood that Jimmy was something that no one had ever seen, and when Jimmy makes that trade, nobody's thinking that they're going to release the players. No one. So the Vikings,
that was hilarious.
So the Vikings aren't thinking that either.
Yeah, they're like, you won't do it.
Yeah, you won't do it, and he did it.
I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, it was genius, but nobody had seen anything like Jimmy. So that's why it worked.
Was it like a first, second, third, fourth round pick? It was like
a bunch of picks. And
looked it up.
Well, the thing about it is, it wasn't even like Bookie. I can give the Browns 25 picks next year's draft. They're gonna get 3 guys they keep. It's not that the fact that they had the picks, it's the fact that Jimmy knew who to draft with the picks. It didn't matter what round. Jimmy was coming from college. He knew who could play. He knew who there was some of those guys he recruited, some of those guys he played against. So it was a genius move on Jimmy's part.
It was ridiculous.
All right, the Cowboys acquired Minnesota's first, second, and 6th round picks in 90, first and 2nd round picks in 91, first, second, and third picks in 92. The deal also included conditional picks attached to the players received, giving the Cowboys additional draft ad. Basically, the Cowboys got like 14 picks out of one running back, one overrated running back named Herschel Walker.
The biggest compliment I can give to Jerry is him finding out, like, hey, man, running back's overrated. Trade him. Who cares? We'll just trade this guy for all these draft picks just now.
That's right.
It's not working out for them like this, but it's like the Giants with Saquon. Like, we suck with him.
Yeah.
We can't re-sign him just because he's our best player.
Yeah.
Like, now, again, it didn't work out this way for the Giants, but that was Jimmy's thought process. Like, wait, we went 1-15 with Herschel Walker. Why do I need
the best guy we had?
What do I need him?
Exactly.
Yeah, like, what am I doing here? I got to let him go.
That was the smartest thing besides apparently just finding an oil well that happened to have fucking oil underneath it, I guess. That was the smartest thing Jerry's done.
Well, the genius was, and Mike Lynn's the GM of the Vikings at the time, which, by the way, in Minnesota, Mike Lynn is a cuss word. So what Jimmy was able to do was like, all right, I'll take those 5 guys for Walker. And Mike Lynn's like, you will? Oh, my God. Calm down. Mike Lynn thought he fucked the Cowboys, right? Oh, my God. Yeah. Jimmy's like, only condition I want is if any of these guys you're trading me, I release them. Which, by the way, Isaac Holt was a decent player for a couple of years. It wasn't like they were all spares.
Is that Torrey Holt's brother?
No. Might be his dad, but it can't be brothers, fool.
So, Jimmy's like, I want to condition that any of these kids, if I release them within the next 2 years, then I get a mid-round pick from y'all too. No problem, you got it. And they released all 5 of them within 2 years.
Man, he did suck.
And got all these picks. Yeah, who did?
Herschel Walker. What?
Very overrated player.
What is this? He didn't get 1,000 yards except
he was
twice.
He was a Saturday guy. And I'm not, it's like kind of like what Mike said about like, hey, yeah, what happens after? I don't want that to take away from what happened in the 90s. What Herschel was doing at Georgia was insane. Mm-hmm. Now, again, it didn't correlate to the NFL, but be clear, he was a bad mother father. But I wanted to shoot him through my television for talking in third person on this documentary.
Oh, my God, that was so
fucking
such
funny.
A
nut.
He's an ass.
So insane.
The CT has him.
Early punch to Herschel Walker. Like, first of all, we saw what you did during the whole trying to be in politics shit. You made yourself look like a jackass.
All of his fun aborted babies got brought out, dude, where he's like Mr. Christian. He's a scumbag.
Yeah.
But good on the producers. They rolled his ass out there for some perspective.
He was like, Herschel Walker. One thing you need to know about Herschel Walker. And I was like, and at the time he wasn't on the screen.
They decided to trade Herschel Walker.
I was like, I know this motherfather is not talking. in third person on a
He's
Netflix
insane.
documentary. He said, what you got to understand about Herschel Walker. I was like, there's no way this is him. And it was him.
You talk about a narcissist. God damn. He even says in the documentary, my mama's not going to like me
Talking in third
talking
person.
in third person.
But
let me go ahead and do it 16 more times.
That was
He's
so
an
good.
asshole.
That was so
He's
good.
Nuts.
I look forward to watching the rest of the episodes and taking notes.
Yeah, me too. All right, we got money. Go back up to the top. Let's get money. Got money.
Oh my God! it was
As
so good.
Dion said, must be the money.
Let's turn it.
That episode's
Yeah.
coming.
That and I can't wait to find out why Jimmy Johnson and Jerry broke up. I have
I can't wait.
Well,
for you to
everybody
see
knows
it.
why.
Well,
I
let
have
him,
no
let him
idea.
watch.
I'll let you watch it.
G-Town 488's in the building. $5. Do y'all think this will motivate Philly even more for their opener with the Cowboys documentary?
No,
The
They should be
Eagles don't
thankful.
need any more.
the Eagles don't need it. They have Jalen
No,
Hurts.
the Cowboys have always been in the Eagles' head rent-free.
That's hilarious.
Now, the Eagles used to kick the shit out of the Cowboys, but no, they hate the Cowboys up there. They hate them.
They do.
It's almost like it's in the playbook when you get drafted by the Eagles. Rule number 1, you hate Dallas.
Yeah.
Aaron Caduper in the building. $4.99. Thank you, Aaron. Philly is going to crush the Clown Boys on opening night.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 35-10 is what I'm seeing at this point. What else? 1989 Cowboys talent was worse than booty crumbs and lower than whale shit. Okay.
Damn. Why is it? Why?
That's pretty low.
And softer than Charmin. And that goes back to Rudy's point about you need to get some of these motherfuckers out of here.
Where they're like losers.
Yeah, and Michael Irvin's like one human being on the planet who could do that with Jimmy.
Yeah.
Don't tell me who to fucking cut. But Jimmy had known Mike since he was 15.
Right.
He recruited him at the U.
Love Mike.
All right, let's get violent up in here, shall we? Let's do a little punching here on In the Building on Love You Hard TV and Anthem TV.
It's time for
Texas
People I
Cheerleaders
Want to
Studios at 7.
Punch on In the Building.
Bump Sports Radio. Rudy, what
I'm-
you punching today, sir?
I'm punching that CTE ridden third person talking. That pissed me off. That was the only part about the documentary that I have that's disliked. Sitting through 10 minutes of Herschel Walker.
Oh my God!
And then him thinking that he was going to actually do something in that game against Dallas.
Yeah.
And he did. He had one good series, and then Dallas shut that bullshit out. Punch Herschel Walker for being an idiot on the documentary, but also for thinking he's smart enough to be in politics.
I knew he was like a
He
coach.
almost won.
He did almost
Yes,
win.
he did. That was crazy.
Because that's how much they love. You think we love football? People think only Texas loves football. In Georgia, they love it too. That's the only reason why. They probably got his freaking jersey hanging up in their man caves.
Alabama, they make
They
a
do
good
too.
argument too.
Yeah.
What was the?
Tommy Tuberville.
Remember, it was the.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the Alabama player got suspended several years ago because he beat his girlfriend's ass, and got suspended for like 3 games by Saban.
Mhm.
And we come to find out weeks later that girl's dad got pissed at her for snitching.
Oh shit! I
'Cause
don't remember.
Fucked
that.
up the team, you dumb bitch.
God damn.
Keep that shit.
Dad.
He was basically, Dad was like, "I'm not happy it happened, but did we need to call the cops? I mean, shit, we got to beat Missouri on Saturday.
We got Auburn's
That's a
out there.
legit story. That's
That's
for real. That
insane.
happened. All right, I want to punch. Since we're punching old guys today, I want to punch Archie Manning.
Oh.
Can I get some? Can I get a round of applause? Can I get a round of applause? Because 2 weeks ago, when I brought this up, everybody called me. I said I was senior citizen bashing. And
Well, I'm
but
doing
go
it
ahead,
today.
continue your punch, Mike. I'm just gonna sit here and pat myself on the back.
Go right ahead. Don't break your arm. So Arch Manning said yesterday after practice that he does not know where his grandpa got that information that he was definitely going to go back to Texas in 2026.
That's hilarious.
Grandpa was basically, the Mannings had to step in and tell Archie, it's time to go take a nap, Grandpa.
Told you.
We'll take you to the flea market on Saturday, but you need to take a nap right now.
He
The
said
Mannings
Grandpa
told Archie to
apologized.
step down. Yeah, Archie called and apologized to him, which I respect that. But Archie, come on, man.
I told
Even
y'all.
if you knew, even if Arch told you with his own mouth, there ain't no way I'm coming out next year. I want this to be a 2-year deal. Why are we telling Texas Monthly slappy reporters this? Archie got a little ahead of himself. And as we know, the Mannings will shut your ass down, even if you're the patriarch of the family.
Yeah. And sometimes you got to take keys from Grandpa. Grandpa,
Sometimes.
you can't drive. You've ran into 3 people in the last 3 months. Give me the keys.
Yeah, you already fucked up the neighbor's mailbox. All right, it's time to. We got to get you. Do they have like senior Uber? They don't have senior Uber.
They need it.
They need a senior citizen Uber.
It should be Waymo without the drivers and just fuck them up.
Arch wants everyone to know I have no idea what I'm going to do next year. I'm trying to focus on Ohio State and what I have to do right now today. It's day to day.
Yeah, it's a punch, Archie.
Punch Archie, man. All right, Orlando Kell, the official family lawyer of In the Building. He's Orlando. Texted me yesterday. Want to know our shirt sizes. Something's coming. I don't know what it might be. I don't know what it is. And so Orlando Kell. Former Longhorns, great. It turned into one of the primo family lawyers in all of South Texas. That's our guy. If you need a family lawyer, Orlando Kell. Bumped into a buddy yesterday at a coffee shop. How you been? Oh, going through a divorce. Oh, hell. Orlando Kell. That's what I recommend. 210-775-4995. You can email Orlando directly, orlandokell.law@gmail.com. Not just divorces either, you know. Had a couple of folks adopt a baby with Orlando. I think last year, I want to say, or earlier this year. Does custody stuff, decree changes, all that kind of stuff. When it comes to family law, divorcing from your grandpa,
No shit.
changing your will and taking Arch out of the will because he bitched. These kinds of things are what family lawyers do too. It's Orlando Kell. He's our guy. By the way, Bouquet. And explain to me again. So Arch Manning right now, I looked this up this morning, is plus 600 to win the Heisman. What does that mean, plus 600?
He's probably the favorite. If you bet $100, you get 600 back.
Oh, he's absolutely the favorite, not even close.
Yeah. So
I bet 100.
You get 600 back plus your 100, so you get 700. Yeah.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Yeah. So it's a good price, but it's
So
tough to
who's
bet,
who's the closest second? Jeremiah Smith
or
the other quarterback from Clemson?
That would be my guess.
Could be
as
Kate
well,
Klubnik.
but let me tell you in a second.
Yeah, look up Heisman.
Well, while you looking
odds.
that up, Isaac the Third, $20.
What's
And
up,
Boogie,
Mike?
this is a question for you because that's the only way it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, fellas. Hope all is well. But was wondering if you guys consider doing an in the building fantasy league. Would love that. Now, I'm not running shit.
Well, you guys, my real question is, are you guys going to be in it?
Let me think about that because I don't like the guy that does it and then never sets his line up, never does anything and just quits.
I can be the representative if you'd like.
Well, you know, we have
don't know.
4,600 subscribers. How many teams are we going to have here?
10 tops.
I was gonna allow them to have 12.
All right,
and I'm
12?
gonna put the link
All
in the
right.
chat and first come first.
Next
serve.
11 guys to donate $1,000. We'll get into our fantasy.
Right. Exactly.
I'm being an asshole. I'm down. It's kind of late to get started, but I'm down to do it if you can figure out the proper way to do it. Because here's what's going to happen: I don't want 4,000 dudes that are butthurt because they couldn't do it. So let's figure out a way for guys to earn it. Horse race or some random shit, or charge everybody. Hell, we take tips on this show. Let's come up with it. You want to buy in? Buy in.
We also got to buy into the whatever the pot's going to be.
Why don't we? Yeah, and we got to pay guys back, of course. Yeah. Why don't we discuss this off air?
Yeah.
Fantasy football.
Nussmeyer's
League.
plus 850. Klubnik is
Nussmeier.
plus 950.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Nussmeier.
Yeah, I think betting on the Heisman this early on is very foolish because I'm sure there'll be ups and downs in the seasons. Like if Texas loses that first game, then
He could still win. I mean, Lamar Jackson won it with losses.
yeah. And so Arch Manning,
Johnny Manziel won it with losses.
Arch Manning's
for
odds
sure.
will go up if they lose. So if you want some,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
wait.
yeah.
just wait. If you're an Arch Manning guy, just sit back and wait. And if he wins that first game against Ohio State, then oh well. But if you
Okay.
lose, then you get better.
Did
odds.
you misspeak? Are you sure that? So if I bet $100, I win 7, or if I bet I have to bet 600 to just get 100 back?
No,
because he's plus 600.
Yeah. If he was minus 600, it'd be bet 600 to get 100.
Right.
So if he's plus
okay.
600, you get 600 and you get your $100 back.
All
So
right.
700.
All right, let's talk fantasy league. I'm open to it if we do it fun, where it's fun for everybody.
And I got to make sure I'm going to be committed.
Because I got to tell you, if as a listener of shows, I don't want to hear someone talk about their league that I ain't in. That's a waste of my time. You know what I mean? We've got to make this fun and interactive, you know?
Sure.
Let's figure this out. Let's try to involve as many people as we can without it being stupid and silly. All right? All right. I have an announcement to make. First of all, I want to give a shout out, and I'll put this on social media later. It's early, but I wanted to say thank you to a guy called Brad Mahar.
Oh shit!
And I want to say thank you to a lady called Veronica at the Salvation Army. So last night I was invited to go to the Red Shield Youth Center where we raised money for 5 years for the kids over on Woodlawn Lake. We had a little kind of a get together and celebration and went over and I didn't know how much money we had made until last night. They had the full sheet and report. I want to thank them for helping me spearhead these barbecues, and everybody that's ever had anything to do with our barbecue at all. We raised $27,000 this year, which was the record, more than we've ever raised.
See what happens when we get with Rudy?
I know, we bring Rudy in.
I'm kidding.
Like,
we break records.
We had to bring.
Why does it take so long?
Brought Charles Haley in. I don't know.
Who cares? It's above my pay grade.
Expenses.
All that matters is they got $27,000 for the kids.
We raised $27,000 this year with the barbecue. So if you had anything to do with the barbecue this year whatsoever, God bless you. Thank you very, very much.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's stupid that.
Especially because this isn't like one of these things where, you know, Circle K and Frost and Nina Meyer LLC come in and dump a bunch of money.
Yeah, HEB didn't sponsor.
No, this is
I would love that.
No, yeah, this is just a grind, grassroots. Some companies here and there chipping in what they can, and a great staff. Mike has a great staff of people, great team of people that help him run this. So to raise $27,000 from that it's like you know, CPS raising $400,000 at their golf tournament because it's just little old Mike and his team of people and the good people of Salvation Army. That's a shit ton of money.
Yep.
A lot of money.
Right.
We're talking about Salvation Army. I want to cuss.
It's okay.
But yeah, that's a huge accomplishment, man.
Thank you, man. And I've told this story too many times, but when Hutch and I are the ones that we were just shooting the shit one time.
Yeah.
On the show.
Yeah, Hutch too. Shout out to Hutch.
About summertime's here. It'd be cool to have. We should have like a Thunderdome barbecue. Blah blah blah. All right. It just started off as we're just going to have guys. Let's meet at the park or something and have a little barbecue and drink some beers and just have a hangout. Then it turned into, what if we do like a plate sale? We just like charge. Basically, it'll cover our costs because we would do all the cooking. You know, we'd buy the beers and stuff. But let's donate 50% to somebody. All right, that's how I got going. I swear to God, had it just been 40 dudes at Brack Park and we raised $500 and I gave that to the Salvation Army, that would have been great. And I chose the Salvation Army those years ago because I had a buddy at the time who was on the board at that time. He's no longer on the board. He was a good friend of mine. And I'm like, all right, the Salvation Army reached out to me and they had just hired this new guy called Brad Mahar, who was their media relations guy. And Brad got really excited about the barbecue. And it just turned in over the years to this like Taylor Palooza shit, you know, which I never wanted it or thought it would even get to that. Just really wanted to get together, honestly, with buddies. And from that very first year, my vision for the barbecue was that if we continue to do it every year, because I didn't know, I thought it'd just be a one-off at first. But if we're going to keep doing it, let's pick a different charity every single year. Because there's 100 charities in this city that I would love to support that support youth in this town. Because 99 times out of 100, if I give to charity or I give my sweat to a charity, I want it to benefit kids 99% of the time. So let's just pick a different children's charity each year. But because of how amazing Brad Mahar was, and how amazing Veronica was, and because I became friends with them, and how much they supported our endeavor, it just turned into, it wanted to just be in the Salvation Army each and every year. But I've known for some time that at some point, I would like to take that barbecue and put it in the pockets of some other folks in our city, because I just care about kids in this town. We've talked about this week with the stadium. 18% of this city is in poverty. There are probably 100,000 kids in San Antonio that live in poverty, and the Salvation Army is a huge, huge animal. I mean, they're a worldwide group. And, the Cowboys support the Salvation Army with their Red Kettle campaign and all that kind of thing. So I have made the decision, and it's no hard feelings at all. They understand. I have made the decision that next year I've been looking to move the barbecue somewhere else in 2026. Somewhere a little bit more independent. Somewhere a little more puro. The Salvation Army is going to be fine for the next 100 years without me. And so there's no hard feelings. I wanted to make it, I don't know if the word's smaller, but just do it for a more small organization. An organization that's just located here in the city. So for me, when I made the decision, let's move the barbecue to somebody else, it was a no-brainer on who it's going to be starting next year. And we'll see. Maybe it's a one-time thing. So y'all have heard me. Some of y'all that have listened to our show for a long, long time or have followed me for a long, long time have heard me mention the San Antonio Miracle League from time to time. That is the Little League Baseball League here in town for disabled children, for unable-bodied kids. I've been hanging out with those guys for a number of years, and every year go to their gala. They have this beautiful, huge charity gala, and for a while, it was at the Pearl Stables. The last couple of years, it's been over at the Whitty Museum. It looks like the Oscars in there, what they do. It's just incredible. But it's independently run by San Antonio people only. The San Antonio Miracle League was started by Michael Miller, a friend of mine, and it just so happens that Michael was the longtime advisor and manager of Jesse James Leha, the former multi-world boxing champion y'all all know and love. So Michael and James started the Miracle League for disabled kids to have a place to play baseball. And their field is over here by Wolf Stadium. They share the same parking lot as the Missions, and the field's on the other end of the stadium. Y'all have probably seen it. The field is spongy. It's made out of sponge material, so we can get the wheelchairs out there. A lot of y'all know Maury Vasquez, longtime television reporter in our town.
Shout out to Maury.
Longtime friend of mine.
Shout out to Maury.
Maury is the public address announcer for these games, and there is not a better guy suited to do that job than Maury Vasquez anywhere in South Texas. So what they got over there is magical, and I love it very much. So that being said, we're going to move the barbecue in 2026 to the San Antonio Miracle League. We're going to benefit them this time. Love the Salvation Army. Hope to continue to have a relationship with them for years to come, whether it's their bowling tournaments or their Red Kettle stuff, the ringing the bell and all that kind of thing. Happy to continue to do that. But the barbecue, it was time to move it, and next year it's going to be at the San Antonio Miracle League. So if you don't know what that is, look it up. Dude,
well, I think
it'll change your life to go out there and watch those kids play that game.
It'd be cool to have it in the, because you got 30 trucks. It'd be cool to have. I mean, you have a big enough parking lot to fit them all.
Huge parking lot.
I mean, I don't know the red tape to go through to have it there. Actually,
we'll see if it's even big
sense.
enough. Well, I've been told we can have it there.
Oh, it's plenty big.
Yeah.
I'm talking about if you're using the same parking lot as the Mission.
Oh well, Mike owns a part of that parking lot.
Oh well, then yes, plenty room.
The part that's and he owns the field too. We can do it on the field if we wanted to.
Okay.
It won't mess up that field too much.
Okay.
So there it is. So it's gonna be over in the Wolf Stadium parking lot, benefiting the Salvation. I gotta get used to saying the San Antonio Miracle League to start next year. However, we got lots of time. I won't mention this as the year goes on.
Is your staff gonna still be on?
Well, yeah.
Have you talked to them?
Yep. I've already told the entire committee, and everybody's 100% in.
Good.
And Ed, who is kind of the chairman of our committee.
Which one's Ed?
Eddie Bermea.
Oh yeah.
He's our committee head. Has agreed to continue to do it, and we could not do it without that committee. Those guys are awesome. Hutch and his wife and several other friends of mine that a lot of y'all don't know. A lot of y'all have met on the trail. Help us put this barbecue on, and with Michael's help, and because Michael's got a whole board too that runs that Miracle League. they're like Salvation Army. I mean, they're spread out all over the country and all over the city. Miracle League just focuses on those 6 baseball teams.
I know what you mean.
This barbecue has a chance to be like twice the size,
Right.
if people really want to come out and participate. But I'm not worried about the size. I'm doing it because I want to help some kids. If we raise 100,000 or 10,000 or $50,
Yeah.
it's something they don't have already. So
And bringing awareness to a league for some people that may not.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised who does and who doesn't know about these things that may
Sure.
need to know.
Correct.
May have a family member that say, hey, I have a nephew that could benefit from this.
Right
You
on.
know what I
Bingo.
mean?
That's why I wanted to do it too. I wanted to have it at a local place this coming year, a place that's just here in town, because a lot of people probably have not heard of it. Rudy, you're right.
Right.
There's probably a lot of kids that would love to play in this league that literally haven't heard of it. So that's pretty badass. So thank you for letting me do that. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. All right, it's in the building. Did Gina Ortiz-Jones crash the Project Marvel press conference?
She did a Kanye Taylor Swift. She took the mic from Spurs Jesus, said, "I'm gonna let you finish."
Oh my God!
I'm gonna let you finish.
So what happened? We were talking Jimmy Johnson. I
didn't see it. I've just seen the still photos.
Yeah, I saw the photos. Apparently,
she ran up on stage on their ass.
Yeah, it happened in the last 20 minutes.
Was this at City Hall?
I don't know where they were. They were outside somewhere.
I'll post a picture.
Project Marvel, I did know they were having a little rally.
A
this
pro
morning.
Project Marvel rally,
A
right?
pro Project Marvel rally. And apparently the mayor, who would like to delay this term sheet, bum rushes the press. Is that a still photo or you got video of this?
Still.
Okay, my first thought is, hey, Project Marvel, what the fuck are you doing with that Spurs Jesus front and center? Are you trying to get it passed or not? I think we've all moved past this guy. God almighty.
I don't understand.
So she just shows up and takes over. She probably saw Spurs Jesus and thought, okay, this is ridiculous.
She probably was saying to herself, if he can beat her, I can beat her.
I was getting ready to maybe criticize her for doing this, but if they're going to roll that numbnuts up there, then why not do that?
He's a Roosevelt Rough Rider.
I've made he and I are fine. We've talked it out, but I mean,
you had him at one of your barbecues. Well, Brad had him at one of your barbecues.
He came to the barbecue and his lowrider broke down, which I thought was hilarious. No, we've done some other stuff together. I got mad at Jeff for putting the mural on the wall here. I don't understand why that continues to be such a massive
in San
thing.
Antonio, we make some different people famous.
I can tell you right now, when this picture goes viral today all over the country, we're gonna have a lot of people go, yeah, San Antonio is pretty fucking podunk for a town of 2 million people. It just makes us look Bush League as a city, this whole thing.
Oh, my God.
I just want to get this over with.
Yeah.
Like I said yesterday,
Me too.
this pits San Antonians against San Antonians and Spurs fans against Spurs fans, and it's an ass.
I'm only beaten down because, one, again, the money's going to come from 90% of that tax is going to be on tourists. Mike's a guy that does a staycation here and there. I know plenty of people that do staycation. So, yeah, we'll have a couple pennies here and there. But for the most part, we're taxing tourists. And number two, the most important part why I'm beaten down is it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. All I asked was for the Spurs to ante up a little bit more money, and they have.
And they did.
So
Gina did her job.
Yeah. Now, parking is going to be a bitch.
Of course.
My Spurs fans are going to pay more for
Well, see, and now when this all gets done in 3 years or however long it's going to take, that's when I just Uber down there and walk around.
Well,
there's no need for me to drive down there.
Well, in this arena, in this whole Project Marvel, also, I guarantee you, in the next couple of years, this will kick back up the whole. Hey, we need a rail system in our city.
We do need a rail system.
We absolutely do. So
that
I don't
was
have to
cool.
drive
When
downtown.
I was in Phoenix and there was the rail was coming, I was like, man,
awesome.
this is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I just realized in this picture, by the way, that Spurs Jesus has a shovel and it just says "Build It."
No,
there.
You know what? And here's the thing: it's hard to hate on. So the rappers always say, "Don't hate the player."
Right, hate the game.
Hate the game. He didn't bum Project Marvel pep rally. They invited him. I mean, this ain't about him. It's an ass whip to have him. His bit is 20 years old now, but he didn't invite himself up there. Although she did. She invited herself, apparently.
Gina.
And just took it over.
Gina ain't fucking around, bro.
The ball's on this gal, man.
Yeah.
I still can't believe people don't want an independent, whatever the fuck it's called. I saw
independent what? Oh, an independent report?
Yeah.
They don't care.
That's just crazy.
Well, I say they. a lot of people in this city don't care that the Spurs paid for their own report with their own money with their own company.
And a lot of people have
But
convinced.
a lot of people
a lot of people have convinced themselves that they would really move. That's the and because they're ignorant in that fact.
Yep.
I don't blame them because it would be devastating for us to lose them, but we're not going to. But in the minds of someone that's convinced themselves we would lose them if we don't get this arena done, yeah, you're going to curse Gina out and choke her because you're like, hey, this is all we got.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but
they're not leaving.
Without the Spurs, we're just a random outlier city.
Right.
Of course.
We need them, but they need us too. A lot of y'all underestimate how badly they need us.
Right.
You know how cheap the Spurs operate their franchise? I mean, they run out Roosevelt High Band at halftime. No offense to me. We got junior high tumblers out there for halftime. When the fucking Mavericks and Rockets, they've got Red Panda and Quick Change and legit bands. And we have a 50-year anniversary and have a game at the Alamo Bowl that's sold out with the Warriors in town. And we run out, whoop, there it is. We're lame. The Spurs are lame. They're not cool.
Yeah.
And
they like it that way.
To bring this back to the beginning of the show, the San Antonio Spurs could use a little Dallas Cowboys in their marketing approach. But they've never had to because they've been awesome and they've kicked ass. Well, now that they've sucked for 6 years, maybe it's time to do a little bit more marketing. A little bit more feel good.
Right.
Maybe the money that they're going to make with Project Marvel, since it's such a slam dunk, maybe they can up their budget and get a decent halftime in there. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I
love the Spurs, but they're cheap as balls. Again, I love the team, SSC. Some days I run very hot and very cold on SSC.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
No, I saw the $15 an hour radio host tweeting some nonsense, and it reminded me of that.
You don't even know who I'm talking about when I said that.
I think I do. Yeah, I think I do.
Well, here's the thing: most radio hosts in 2025 make about $15 an hour anyway. So that could have been one of anybody. I just got mad. I was ranting. I didn't mean anybody in particular.
Oh well, I know who this one is, and this one is a dumbass.
Don't say anything.
Okay.
We're not giving him no pub.
Oh, yeah, we're not giving no pub. All right, let's give GC Roofing some pub, shall we?
Why not?
GC Services Roofing and Construction, 17th customer. And this was just a repair, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad this came up because we always get wrapped up and replace the whole roof. You know, the whole roof needs to be replaced. And if your roof needs to be replaced, great. Like Jerry Jones got some new hips. Sometimes your roof might need some new hips. And the hips on a house are the roof. However, GC also does major repair work. So we had them go out to one of our people this week. It was his mama's house.
His mom or his grandma?
It was mama. It was mama's house. Was it grandma? I forget. Some member's relative. I think it was mom. Went out to the house, and because I think they're trying to get it ready to sell.
Right.
And it's like, well, this whole roof might need to be replaced. Russ and those boys could have gone out there and lied and said, oh, yeah, you need to replace this whole roof.
Great point. I'm glad this came up.
Russ goes out there and is like, no, you don't need to replace this whole roof. Just a patch job. Let us fix it for you. Then you can sell it. Honesty, integrity. They know that they're dealing with San Antonians. They know that their name is on our show, and our reputation is at stake with them, just like their reputation is at stake with us.
Right. Amen.
This is a mutual brotherhood we have here with GC. They could have, a lot of companies would have been out there because people don't know shit about roofs. Oh, this ain't good. You need to get a replacement.
Yeah.
Get that, go call your insurance company and see if you can't get that first check so we can get this whole roof replaced. No. Russ told them, no, this is just a fixer-upper. Shout out to GC. That was very cool to y'all. 210-347-0426. It is GC Services Roofing. 17 now. Happy customers. Happy members and subscribers in the building that are now happy. All right, what else today? Adam Schefter said last night on a podcast. I think was it McAfee?
Who was it? I don't know. Bookie brought it to my attention yesterday. I don't remember what pod it was
Pat
on.
McAfee. They had Adam Schefter on, the longtime NFL news breaking guru. He now believes that we are headed for a divorce between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons.
So what, are Micah's people telling him they're serious? Why would Adam say this? Because Adam's not the type of guy to put his reputation on the line.
At no point did Adam never said he thought that Zeke and the Cowboys would get divorced, or Dak, or Zach Martin, or C.D. Lamb, or any of the others, or even Dez. He said last night, I believe we're headed for a divorce. Even if it's not this season, next year when the Cowboys franchise tag Micah, which is their right to do. And by the way, if Micah don't like it, take it up with the union. It's your union that works these shitty deals for y'all. Just saying. The Cowboys don't have to do shit. Micah don't show up in Philadelphia, he don't get paid that week. And then next season, when he's still on the roster, we'll just franchise tag his ass. They franchise tagged Dak twice. But Schefter doesn't think Micah's going to put up with it. Micah's going to continue to hold out, sit out, and demand a trade until they trade him. And honestly, the right thing to do, if you're convinced that it's just completely untenable, there's nothing we can say, there's no amount of money we can pay Micah at this point, you do need to look to move him if you can.
Right.
But Jerry's prideful. And it's now gotten personal, according to Adam Schefter. Jerry may just let him rot and just pay him to not. Or actually, won't have to pay him if he don't show up. Or Mike can continue. He can continue to go to work, but just not playing games and say his back hurts.
Damn.
Then they could sue Micah for lying. Maybe this is going to get awful.
Yeah, when
I
saw that.
By the way, I'm here for it.
I'm here for it, but I was shocked.
Yeah, I am too, man.
Again, because I trust Adam, and I know he cares about his reputation, so that was eye-opening for sure.
The Cowboys are waiting on Micah to blink. And the ultimate trump card the Cowboys have here is in the next week when we get a week out for the Eagles game, then the Cowboys say, all right, here's $200 million. Here's $180 guaranteed. And if Micah says no to that, then it's time to trade Micah Parsons. Because they're going to wind up offering him the max deal. But Schefter thinks this thing has gotten personal. Micah has dug in. Maybe he saved his money and is willing to forego money and is ready to take this thing to a divorce. Crazy how that has gone. It's insane. Mike Cheque's in here. Gina Ortiz-Jones
oh my God,
is going to force the Spurs to add a male dancer if they bring the silver dancer.
That's not true.
I don't think we're going to ever have the silver dancers back. We're stuck with the dance team.
Or the hype team.
The hype team, is that what we call them?
Yeah, because you got to pay the dancers. The hype team, they volunteer.
Yeah, SEC probably gives them a free bag of popcorn or something like that.
Yeah, yo, late punch. I saw, me and my wife were looking up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The World Cup committee, World Cup's coming here.
Yep.
They're looking for 5,000 volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
Are you effing kidding me? Volunteers?
Hey, FIFA, come on now.
Volunteers. Oh, we'll give you a ticket to a game and a couple T-shirts and a bag of goodies. Like what? Like we're gonna make $10 billion. Y'all want volunteers?
I'd do it.
See, Jose, let me tell you why you don't. Because then you allow people to get away with this type of shit.
But it's
you don't get volunteers when you're about to make $1 billion, bro. Haven't you learned anything listening to us talk about this Project Marvel? You don't do GoFundMes for billionaires, bro. This is the World Cup. You know how we make, 150 million people watch the Super Bowl. 1 billion people watch the World Cup final with a B. You don't volunteer for those type of people. You make them pay you $25 an hour. They don't need volunteers. Get out of here. Late punch to FIFA.
I'll counterpunch the Valero Open as well, who does the same thing.
They do. But they give you a free round at TPC if you get over 40 hours volunteered.
A fucking full week's work. Are you kidding me? 40 hours? Are you kidding me?
They give you a T-shirt if you volunteer, but you only get the free round at TPC if you volunteer 40 hours. So pretty much you're there Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work out because you can go play it for $250, $300.
Sorry, boss. I've got to take the week off. I'm working TPC for 40 hours and not getting paid.
Yeah, you can punch them for that.
I want to punch Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Oh yeah,
God.
you sent this.
Shit? Golly. I guess being Julio Chavez Sr.'s son and being rich and famous is not interesting enough. Let's join the Sinaloa cartel.
He didn't join him.
Rudy.
He just knows them, Mike.
Rudy, he's been charged with running guns.
Yeah, you got caught up with the wrong people.
I don't believe that.
Rudy, I was talking about this with my friends the other day, and I actually am right there with you.
Well, look, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has now been deported. He got arrested after he got his ass kicked by one of those Paul brothers last month because
that was funny.
he's turned into a drunk.
He's a tool.
And he's a massive tool. And he was a pretty good fighter when he was young. He was a champion, I think, for a little while, was he?
He's always sucked to me. I can't remember.
And he's a bag of nothing now. Showed up probably drunk to the fight last week because he's got major alcohol issues. Got it a lot last month. Got his ass kicked. And then as a parting gift on the way outside of the arena, ICE was waiting on him, and they deported his ass.
Yep.
He's been in a lockdown in L.A. or Vegas or wherever the fight was. And the president of Mexico, she's got a Jewish name, Baumgartner or something like that. I can't think. Who's the Mexican La Jefa now? I can't think.
She's got balls like Gina, though.
Big old ball. Big old ball. So Scheinbaum, I think her name is Scheinbaum. She has now said that Chavez has now been deported. He's been sent to the Mexican version of their Supermax prison that they have in Sonora. And the FBI and all the feds say he wasn't just hanging out with cartel. He's been charged with organized crime. And he's been charged with running guns, ammo, and explosives trafficking, rather. He's trafficking grenades and RPGs and shit.
Yeah, it feels like he's just like, it's like, you're going to do this for us now. And he's like, I can't say no to the cartel.
Well, I mean, I
we talked
guess
about
that's
that before.
Possible. Or he's just a massive douche and having his daddy's money and name was just not fun and interesting enough.
And they might not have no money.
The feds, look, the feds have, y'all can, I mean, who knows what the real story is, but the feds have been investigating him for 4 years.
He's their way to the bigger cartel guys.
They clearly have a lot of shit on him.
Yeah, he about to snitch.
Yeah, he's
big time.
He is prime for snitching.
He about to snitch.
Well, he better change his name to Mike Tyson Jr. because he's gonna get his his head chopped.
Yeah, he'll have surgery, move to Spain.
Yeah, have a facelift.
Yeah,
yeah, because he's gonna get one by the cartel in the form of some fucking swords and stuff.
Apparently, by the way, Mike Check said this as well. Jake Paul is gonna fight Tank Davis in November in an exhibition. So we'll see.
Well, I don't want to get sued, so I won't say what I want to say. Jake Paul's been suing everybody that says his fights are fixed, so I'm gonna shut up.
I would love to see Jake get put in the tank or get in the tank.
If it's not, this is gonna tell me if this shit is rigged or not. Yeah. If he beats Tank, then I don't have to ever watch again, and I don't even watch now. If he beats Tank Davis, that shit's rigged. I don't give a shit how much he sues anybody.
Well, Mike Tyson stood there and let Jake pretend to punch him.
Mike was 50-something.
Yeah, I know, but still, Mike didn't even try to fight back, which was ridiculous. Didn't even try to. Only fight I'm concerned about the rest of the year is Canelo versus T. Crawford.
Me too.
That's the fight that I'm.
That's in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's in early September. I'm looking forward to that. That's the fight that I give a shit about right now. All right. Watch Jose every Saturday coming up this week. Baseline Bums too. Jose's got Say Hey plays every Saturday here on the channel, as do the Baseline Bums. Did they drop one last night?
Yeah, they did.
They did a live show, I think.
Yeah, they challenged you guys to golf too.
Oh, did they? A golf challenge? Okay. Which is well played because it tugs on our pride, and it's a great way to get notoriety for your show by pissing off Rudy and Mike. So I love it. I love the hustle. It's great. We ain't even talk. We got to talk about our golf thing y'all talked about.
Jose don't want no smoke.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Did you go all late 80s Cowboys on me?
Yeah, he ducking.
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's reconnoiter and get back to this. All right. You can donate to us via the super chat if you'd like to. It's a guarantee. We want to read as many as we can, but it's a guarantee we'll get to you if you give us money. We'll read posts for money on this show. It is the super chat. So jump in there and get involved. Show brought to you in part by Texas Cheer Liquor. This is the time of the year where I don't drink a lot of rosé or like summertime, like
Moscato.
flavored wines. Summertime I will, though, like at the pool with Nina the other day for her birthday. We got summertime wine sales right now at Texas Cheer Liquor.
Look at that
Sutter Home iced tea. Got peach tea, fruit infusions, these kinds of things. Moscato sangria. All has been marked down at Texas Cheer Liquor. Got 7 locations from I-90 West, headed out of town all the way up to Bernie and in between. It is Texas Cheer Liquor.
Good times out there last Saturday.
Very good times.
Good job on the video, by the way.
Very good time. And by the way, 5% off at all locations when you mention us in the building. Mention us and get 5% off. All right, let's end it with some baseball talk, shall we?
Why not?
Been trying to get to this all week, but Gina Ortiz-Jones won't let me. Real quickly, so it's funny that we're sitting here talking about us as a town and what we can afford and cannot afford. And, there's also been most San Antonians also would love to have Major League Baseball here. I've always said that there's no way that we could house a club on our own unless we were to lose the Spurs.
Right.
Then maybe we could house a baseball team. I don't think we could do both at the same time. A lot of y'all don't agree with me. That's okay. I wish I were wrong on that. I don't think I am. I've said forever that the way to get a Major League Baseball team in this part of the state we'd have to involve the city of Austin. That's what I've always said.
Sure.
If Austin and San Antonio could somehow get together and go halfers on a baseball team, maybe the league would consider moving a club to Comal County or something and calling it the South Texas whatevers. Here's what I will say about Rob Manfred, the commissioner, and a lot of people don't like him. That dude's got the balls to make changes. That guy gets shit done. We're going to wipe out the shift. We're going to put a clock on the pitchers. We're going to make the game look more like your daddy's game, blah, blah, blah. Which is ironic because baseball now is known for all of the analytics that it uses in its handling. Rob Manfred said, I think during a Mets broadcast the other night, I want to say.
Yeah, it was in the Little League World Series game.
World Series game, yes, sir.
Yeah.
That expansion is coming to Major League Baseball. We're going to add teams. We want new teams, and it's time that we talk about realignment geographically. We want to add some clubs, and once we get some new clubs in, then we want to make sure that they're more geographically aligned to cut down on travel and these kinds of things.
I see. Okay.
Sounds pretty cool to me. And the cities that pop in my head, well, there's 4 cities that I can think of that pop in my head when I hear new franchises. Nashville.
Of course.
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Maybe
Portland, Oregon.
They already got Seattle, but okay, that's fair.
Maybe Charlotte. Because we're going to do it geographically. I mean, we're going to have let's say we have 2 new franchises. You got to take into account geography. Like, where are they going?
What division will they be in?
Nashville's probably going to be in the Midwest or something.
According to who is Jim Bowden?
Longtime GM of the Cincinnati Reds.
Okay, well
now he's a broadcaster.
His
analyzer.
proposed realignment would be the Southeast for the Nashville team, which would include the Braves, Marlins, Nashville, and Rays.
Okay.
Then you got the Mid-Atlantic, which is the Orioles. Charlotte is expansion. Pirates and Nats.
That would be a horrible division.
And then the North is that the Reds, the Guardians, the Tigers, and the Blue Jays. And then the East pretty much stays the same, but you add the Mets, which that's a sexy division.
Mets and Yankees in the same division.
Red Sox, Mets, Yankees, Phillies. That's a sexy division.
That's a fucking gauntlet.
That is a gauntlet.
But that Southeast and Mid-Atlantic is blah.
Yeah, the Mid-Atlantic would be terrible.
The Orioles, the expansion, Charlotte, the Pirates, and the Nats. Ugh.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, because while I get the need for geographical sense, you can't put the 2 clubs that play in your number 1 media market in the same division. So I guess we're asking the Mets to switch to the American League.
Yeah. Good point, Mike. Yeah.
Or we're going to wipe out the leagues and just have a bunch of divisions.
Well, that's one side of the
because now you create a scenario where no one's ever going to watch the Mid-Atlantic clubs. And you're going to get shitty teams in the playoffs, which I can't stand.
See, now
the Pirates are going to go to the playoffs if they're in that shitty Mid-Atlantic that they're proposing.
I think you're right, Mike. I think we're going to do away with American National League because over here on Bowden's, you got the Cubs and Sox in the same division with the Brewers and Twins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you got the Stros, Royals, Cards, Rangers, and that's the Southwest.
Okay.
Then you got the Pacific Coast, Rockies. So even though they're the Vegas Athletics, the Mariners, and the Giants. And then you got the West, which is D-backs Angels, Dodgers, Padres, which makes sense. That's pretty much the same, ain't it?
It's basically just split in West Coast and East Coast.
Or my next question is, where do you put the Austin Tonio Wranglers? Where do they go? What division are they going to be in? Damn it!
Well, if we had Anaheim, we could do San Marcos. The San Marcos
Well,
Rustlers.
are you going to get people that live in Central Austin and Central San Antonio to make the drive to San Marcos to watch the games?
No.
I think so.
Well, maybe.
I
say maybe.
would.
Well, it'd make it a hell of a lot easier if I could get on a train and ride up to the game.
No,
and
that's
back.
a whole different story. Then, yeah.
At some
I
point,
could park somewhere and hop on the train.
we got to have a monorail system, man. Got to.
Agreed.
We just don't have the corporate dollars, but
But
we
if
make
Austin's
more. We
involved,
make
do.
more sense than Charlotte.
You think so? Because Charlotte's, they play in a state with no club. That's a small state, North Carolina. Does the league want to F with a third club in the state of Texas? I think so. I think they would.
I just don't think the owners of Houston and the Rangers would allow it.
Well, they don't.
No,
They're
tough
not.
shit.
They're not Jerry Jones.
That's true.
They don't have Jerry Jones power.
I don't love the Mets and Yankees in the same division.
Me neither.
You need to separate your top two.
And that's not fair to those 4 teams to have to play each of those guys 19 times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. Again,
That's brutal.
the North, whatever Eastern Conference divisions here are absurd. The Orioles, the Charlotte team, the Pirates. None of those teams spend money.
Yeah, and I am. By the way, this is only one guy's opinion.
Right.
It's Jim Bowden. Well, I respect him a lot, but it may be time to wipe out to get rid of the leagues.
No American League, no National League.
Yeah,
So
they
then do we
already
do a
have-
DH or no?
Everybody play. We don't have it in the National League. They have a DH now.
Yeah, so then you just keep
We've
it.
already wiped out the leagues. Everybody plays everybody. Everybody's got the DH now. Everybody plays under the same set of rules. Yeah, it's time to let the American League and National League. That's just symbolic shit. Time to let that
Yeah.
go. I agree.
Speaking of baseball,
Yes,
I
sir.
got caught in the rabbit hole on YouTube
Mhm.
last night. And again, forgive me. It's kind of like, what was the hockey dude's name that I discovered all late?
Kachuk.
No.
Connor McDavid.
Connor McDavid.
Uh-huh.
I'm a passerby. I watch baseball during the World Series.
Hockey's a pass-by sport.
I didn't know Robinson Cano was the greatest second baseman of all. Like, his highlight tape was some shit. Like, I didn't know he was that great at second base. I've never seen
Is he in the Hall of Fame bouquet yet?
No, he's not going to either.
He's not. I don't think he had the bat numbers, but
No.
I'm just talking about him as playing second base.
No, but he has all of it. Like, he has the
That
numbers.
shit was like
Just
some walk in the park, strolling, laughing, flicking,
Yeah.
picking, sipping, dipping.
Yeah.
I was like, holy sh! Again, I didn't know. I knew he got paid a lot of money. I remember he bounced around. It was Mariners, Yankee. I knew all of that,
yeah.
but I never sat and watched him play second baseman,
yeah,
and
he
that
was
shit
great.
was fucking
He was
poetry.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
he wasn't a steroid guy, he would be.
He was a steroid guy.
Yeah, he got caught for
He
steroids. and stuff
spearheaded
like that,
Yankee
yeah.
World Championship teams. I mean, there were seasons where he was better than A-Rod and Jeter, statistically anyway, during championship runs. He was
Yeah, I didn't know
awesome.
he was that good at
And
second base.
Because the Yankees had him in their system, it allowed them to trade Alfonso Soriano for A-Rod. They would just bring up Robbie Cano and put A-Rod over at third base, and Jeter was
was a
short
wizard.
for golden.
He was a wizard with
Yeah,
that.
he was a stud.
Yeah.
All right, Rudy mentioned the other day Scotty Scheffler, former Longhorns great,
Oh yeah,
how he's doing Tiger-like shit.
he is. But then
I
I
thought about
looked.
that when I went home.
I looked at it, and he is, but he ain't. When it says
I
Scotty,
know why he ain't.
yes, he says Scotty Scheffler is looking for back-to-back PGA Tour seasons with 5+ wins.
That's amazing.
Okay, it's amazing. Only one player's done that
Tiger.
over the last 40. 99, 2000 Tiger,
Mhm.
2000, 2001 Tiger,
Yep.
01, 02 Tiger, 02, 03 Tiger, 05, 06 Tiger, 06, 07 Tiger.
Yeah.
So as soon as I'm ready to be like, yeah, man, Scotty doing Tiger shit, and then I'm like, no, he ain't. No, he ain't.
Also, I wanted to push back on that a little bit too. I love Scotty Scheffler.
No, me too. We
It's-
all do.
It's unfortunate that he's got literally zero personality. It's ironic that he's the only guy on tour who got arrested last year at a tournament, which is very funny. He's a good dude, and when he does interviews, he's engaging. He's just he's like a robot out there. He's just a robot out there, and it's just nothing to him. He's a vanilla kind of guy, Although I like vanilla, but that's what we call guys like that. But you have to consider that. So this past week in Indianapolis, you know what happened in Indianapolis, Indiana this past weekend?
Other than Scotty, no.
John Rahm clinched the
I
Player
saw
of the
that.
Year award
I got like $18 million
in the
from
LIV
Liv.
tournament.
Yeah, I
in
saw
the
that.
LIV league.
They drank some milk.
Rahm got an $18 million bonus. So
Yeah.
it's like, what Scotty Scheffler's the best player in the world, no question.
It ain't up for debate.
But he's not beating the greatest players every weekend like Tiger did.
Interesting.
Tiger had to
because
hold off
they
Phil.
went to the Live.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Good point.
Some
Mike.
of these tournaments that Scotty has won, how do we know that Bryson DeChambeau wouldn't have won one of those? Or Brooks
Rahm.
or
Yeah.
John Rahm? We're not going up against the greatest players in the league or in the world every week. And that's okay. Soccer's like that. You got 4 or 5 elite soccer
Right.
leagues. It is what it is. What I want to see, and I don't think the PGA's got the
They
balls.
don't, Mike, and that would be great. I would
want to
watch it.
see a head-to-head tournament between Live players and PGA.
Give me the
Tour
top
guys.
5 PGA, top 5 Live. Let's get it on Ryder Cup
Dude,
style.
that would be the shit.
Shit talking, music blasting. Because
Yeah.
Jose, you listen to music when you play golf, don't you?
Yeah.
That's what I like. Music blasting. Might even pop a beer, but let's
Right
play.
around
Let's get it
September,
on.
Let's get the top 10 dudes or top 5 guys on PGA, and let's have a golf cup.
Let's do it.
How badass would that be? Right, keep the Ryder Cup. I love the Ryder
Yeah,
Cup.
I love the Ryder
Europe
Cup, yeah.
versus United States. I don't want to take away from Scotty, but he's not going against the Tiger. Not only did Tiger do that 5 times, the 5 tournament wins, Tiger's having to go against the very, very best on earth in the same tournament
Every
weekend,
week.
too. So I don't want to get too crazy about Scotty Scheffler. He's incredible. He's the best golfer of this generation. But John Rahm's a bad motherfucker too, just saying.
Yeah,
As
so is
Bryson
Bryson.
DeChambeau.
Right.
Kepka's fallen off some as he's gotten older.
Yeah, he has.
And I don't want to take away at all, you know. Unfortunately, Jordan Spieth has just kind of plateaued.
Oh no, dude, golf
Justin Thomas has plateaued.
golf is a weird sport where you
Mhm.
can get the yips. I feel like Spieth has the yips.
Hell, that the guy that won the last major championship, the Filipino dude, he's come on. He's
Yeah.
basically, huh?
JJ Spawn?
Yeah, JJ Spawn, he's a stud. I'd like to see he and Scotty and whoever else go up against like DeChambeau and Koepka and John Rahm in
Yeah.
a post-season golf playoff for the world title.
Yeah, I
That'd
need
be
a
cool.
Live versus PGA.
That'd be so badass.
I'm there.
That'd be super kick-ass.
Yeah.
All right, muchas gracias to Slackers. Can't do it without them. 5 locations in town. Another off-air discussion we need to have is watch parties for Longhorns, Buckeyes.
North Star.
Watch parties for Cowboys, Eagles. North Star?
North Star for horns.
All right.
For horns.
Let's discuss in
Buckeyes.
detail so we can tell
Yeah.
the people. 5 locations. The North Star Mall location behind the mall on Rector, 281 Thousand Oaks, Nacogdoches, St. Mary's location near downtown, and then up in the Med Center on Fredericksburg Road.
Let's do it.
Slackers, Sports Drinks and Games, the official sports bar of In
The
the
building.
We're done. Okay. I'm out tomorrow. How are we going to do that? Y'all going to do it without me? You taking the day off?
No, we'll be here.
Okay. I will be on an airplane when y'all go on tomorrow. I think.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I will be. I would have just
No, me and
left.
Jose gonna knock it out. We're gonna do it here, Jose, since we gotta do In Motion tomorrow.
I'll be back Friday.
Okay.
From Paradise. I'm heading to Hawaii in the morning. And I won't be back till next Wednesday, but I'm off tomorrow, but I will be doing shows Friday, Monday, Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
From the Hellscape. Wednesday, we'll figure it out. Let's talk
Yeah.
about that later. We're done. Thanks, everybody. Shout out again to the Salvation Army. 5 years. We raised almost $100,000 total in the 5 years, if you combine the numbers. Thank you,
Give me some,
man.
Give me some.
Great run.
Good shit.
Had a great run. Super stoked to be taking the barbecue to the Miracle League, but wanted to make sure I wanted to give Salvation Army its proffers. Thank y'all very much. We are here to help y'all in the future endeavors you may have. We're just going to move that barbecue. Love y'all hard. Thank you to Jose Bouquet. Jimmy the Bag is up next. See y'all boys in here, Rudy and Buki mañana. Love y'all hard. I will see y'all in here on Friday. Later.